right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Progressive Podcast. It is episode 104, and today we're talking about strategic planning and prioritization for success. If you are listening to this, please do take notes. All right, cool. Now I know you're probably thinking, how is Mietani going to do this? It's just me today. Well, pretty much for some time now until Dumi comes back. If you want to know where Dumi is, be sure to check out the previous episode 103. Cool. So today, to just kick us off with our icebreaker. All right. So today's icebreaker is, are you a procrastinator? Yes or no? Let us know in the comments and let us know, why do you procrastinate? Am I a procrastinator? Depends on the task, really. But generally speaking, no, I'm not really someone to procrastinate. Not anymore, actually. Before, I used to be somebody that used to procrastinate a lot, especially with my academics, and I've got some interesting statistics here that we're gonna get into shortly. But yeah, I used to be a big procrastinator, and I think that's why my marks were the reason. I think that's why my marks were the way they were, because brother just procrastinated, man. Nothing too crazy about that. But it got to a point when I got to university, when I started my degree, I was like, no, man, I don't want this to be my life. I wanted something new. I wanted a different image. I wanted to do better, to do better and be a better person, and most importantly, be a better student, right? And I ended up becoming a procrastinator. I made it a thing. I would hand in my assignments days or at least 24 hours before they're due, if I could. I mean, nowadays we've got turn it in, so I can only hand it in on the day, but I do make it an effort to be on top of the ball as much as I possibly can, and not fall behind too much. But anyways, let me know how you guys feel about your procrastination. If you're really struggling with it, drop it in the comments. Let's hear it. We've all been there before, at least once, But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good week. My week has been it's been quite hectic. Just a lot of catching up, man. I must be honest, a lot of catching up and just a lot of juggling, and as you can see, it's just me, and it's just a lot of reshuffling and just picking up new things and just, picking up the ball, where Dumi's been picking it up, and, just across the board, there's been a lot getting ready to shoot as well. We're shooting our films I'm shooting mine, and I'm looking at the calendar here. Shooting on the 16th of August. So yeah, I'm about to be busy, but don't worry. Episodes will come out as usual every Monday at 6 a.m. in the morning. Cool. So before we get into the gist of things, I just wanted to share some statistics. All right. That I found pretty interesting. So shout out to Randy for these ones. So cool. So here's a stat on time management. All right. Around 85% of college students, right, or university students report struggling with time management, which directly impacts their planning habits. All right. Here's one on goal setting. A study found that 20% of millennials set specific measurable goals for their future. 20% is a bit concerning. Wonder what's going on with the rest of the rest of the 80%. All right. And then here's an interesting statistic on the use of planning tools. Approximately 60% of young adults use digital tools like apps or online calendars. That's me. Let me know if you use Google Calendar as well. It's saving my life right now. To plan their schedules, while 40% prefer traditional methods like planners and notebooks. I use a bit of both, but I'll unpack it as we get into the episode. And then here's a fourth one on procrastination. 50% of young adults admit to procrastinating on important tasks, affecting their ability to plan effectively. This is concerning, guys. And then here's one on mental health. Planning and time management are linked to mental well-being, with over 70% of young adults experiencing stress due to poor planning and time management. I find this very interesting because my dad would always, every time I'd say, oh no, I'm stressed. Oh no, this is happening. I need to do this. I need to do that. There's just so much going on. He would say to me, dude, have you planned? Let's start there. What's your schedule looking like? Are you planning accordingly? And these are the type of questions my dad would always ask me. And it was only really now how I was able to really just incorporate my timetable holistically, even within the business of the progressive athlete. Scheduling is important. It's imperative, But today I really just wanted to chat about, strategic planning and prioritization, how to prioritize, and how those two things really, once you just put them together, can really catapult you for success. All right. So I'll take a very simple example. All right. A simple example is, what is it? Just checking the notes here. Cool. So a simple example would be my workouts, right? So people ask me, how do I stay in shape all year round, right? And there's different levels to being in shape. All right. And I'll say like this: I'll look a lot more bulkier in winter than in summer, right? I'll look a lot more leaner in summer. And it's simply because I know winter, I'm going to need that extra body fat, with all due respect, just to stay warmer. I grew up in a very hot area, so I'm not really a big fan of winter, I mean, the clothing is nice, the drip is amazing. I think that's the most I wear this shirt, not shirt, this puffer jacket, but really in winter I'm a lot leaner. But it all comes down to planning, right? And what does that look like for me? So people think I'm in the gym about like four, 5, 6 times a week. No, not even. I'm in the gym 4 times a week most of the time. I found that's the most consistent way to kind of get it done for me. I'm a certified pedestrian, so I'm pretty much walking to everywhere. So I get a good amount of steps. The goal is 10,000 steps. It's not a crazy goal, but it's doable. You'd be surprised how many people don't actually get 10,000 steps in, and I want to quickly check what is 10,000 steps in kilometers. All right, whilst that loads up. So 10,000 steps is approximately 8 kilometers, right? So that's how much I'm clocking a day just on foot, just walking, whether I'm walking to brush my teeth, or all those steps, all those little things kind of come into play, right? But then also, I have a very boring, to say it bluntly, I have a very boring workout regime or workout plan. And boring in the sense that there's none of these fancy exercises, or it's nothing really that your favorite fitness influencer is doing. But it's also simply because of the facilities, the facilities that we have in our gym. It's very basic. And for me, basic works and less is more, compound lifts, and a bit of, isolating lifts as well, to kind of target specific areas within the muscle, but that's what my planning looks like. I know winter, I don't like the cold, and the use of fat in the body is to help insulate the warmth, right? So I know, okay, cool. Should I add, should I bulk, should I gain weight? Winter's the best time, right? And that's very strategic for me. And I know what my years look like. And also now when it comes to prioritization, it depends on on the season that I'm in. So with this year specifically, I'm shooting this film on the 16th of August. It's a 10-day shoot, right? So right now I'm prioritizing cardio, right? I'm prioritizing my heart rate and just trying to be a bit lean, or just move, be quite mobile. Where rewind, actually about 3 months back, I would say the focus and the priority was really hypertrophy, just solid weightlifting. I wasn't really trying to burn too many calories, right? So that's what it looks like as far as fitness and health is concerned. But now let's take it to your studies, all right, or to a task. Let's say it's a project. Let's say at work you've got this project you guys are working on, right? And you need to be able to plan it out, group project, whatever the case may be. So for me, this is how I do it. And this is where I'd get my pen and paper out, right? I look at the dates, all right? So I say, okay, cool. So let's say, right, this is going to show on a Monday, right? So then now what you want to do is say, okay, cool. If I've got a task due a project due on the 20th of of August, right? What's within the task, right? What are the deliverables for me to do for the task, right? And then you look at the deliverables and then you say, okay, cool. What's the most, for me, I always look at it and say, what's the hardest thing that I need to do within this project, right? And I'd rather do that first. Get the hardest thing out of the way. And sometimes, even if it's an essay, right? Sometimes the hardest thing for me, right? I'm currently working on my thesis, and the hardest thing for me was my literature review because of the amount of research and everything that needed to be done. So I said to myself, okay, cool. Let me just take time to find my my sources, the books, and just organize the things. Just doing that, all right? And then the next task, right, is now, okay, cool. I'm gonna now read through and just take what I need from the respective sources. Then the next task, right? And bear in mind, this is not all in one day. This is in maybe one day I do this, one day I do this, one day I do this. So you're just nibbling at it, right? Just like Pac-Man. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Pac-Man. I'm sure the millennials would. Not sure. Maybe early Gen Z. But but yeah. So essentially, that's how I like to break it. And there's certain not tactics, but there's ways to kind of go about it. And what I will link in the description is a time management ebook, which you can just click in the link in the description, and you should be able to get access to that. Something nice, short, and simple, just to kind of give you guys, a bit of morale, a bit of wisdom. There's something nice about water, and I know water doesn't have a specific taste, but when you drink enough water, there is a taste, and people always ask me, dude, where'd you get your water? And I'm like, from the tap, bro. And people say, what they say about tap water, it's not clean or whatever. I've never had an issue with tap water, specifically here in Johannesburg. I've been fine. It's been 4 years, I'm still here. I mean, you see me breathing, right? So it's not the end of the world, right? So essentially, back to the main thing, you always want to be able to break it down. Right, break it down into small things, small increments, and you eat away. So for an essay, for example, right, most of us will do essays within our labs, right? Start with the introduction or start with the title, right? Even if it's a simple thing as opening Word, Google Docs, or whatever you use, right? And you type your name, student number, topic, grade, date, done. You save and you go, right? Come back maybe later in the day or in the next day, right? You do your introduction and you leave it and you go do something else. And then the next day or later on in the day, depending on your schedule, you do the first paragraph, second paragraph, that's really just how it is. And that's when you're able to plan things, right? You're able to get to be more productive, right? And for me, I try my best, not try. The goal is to put everything that I can on the calendar, especially events. So if I have a speaking engagement, which I do, this Tuesday, tomorrow. Yeah, this Tuesday on the 6th of August, I do have a speaking engagement, and that would go on my calendar, if I need to call my mom, and I need to book like specific time, or my dad or family, grandmother, my sisters, I lock that down. I'll call with my best friends, I lock that down. Even a simple thing as a date, I lock that down so that there's no clashes, right? Because your calendar is that one thing that tells you, okay, cool. Right now, at this time to this time, I'm focusing on this specific thing. Sorry, it's been a long day of speaking for me. So I really need all the H2O that I can get. But if you're able to break it down, I'm telling you, it will save you the stress, the headache. Because think about it like this. When you're trying to clean your room, right? And there's just things everywhere. Like your clothes are here, Your pencils are here, your tech is all over the place, and it's just, you can't just like snap your fingers and, it's all good. We're not Thanos, we're not Tony Stark, right? So it's a simple thing like that. Okay, cool. I'm going to start with the clothes. I'm going to organize the clothes, right? Jackets here, t-shirts here, sweatpants here, gym clothes here. You organize that. Okay, cool. Then now you put it in your cupboard, however you want to put it in your cupboard, right? Then you say, okay, cool. My bed is clear. Let me make my bed, right? You make your bed. Okay, cool. That's done. Next point of action. Let me organize my cables, my laptop, my technology. You organize that stuff. Cool. My desk is clear. All right. And then like, oh no, the floor needs to be swept, needs to be mopped. Cool. You sweep it. You sweep. Then you mop it up. Right. Cool. Jiggy. Now you've got a clean room. Right. So that's really just what it really all boils down to, is being able to just sit down, and you need to decide, right? You need to decide whether this is an important task or not. And I recommend, I prefer to get the biggest and hardest tasks done in the morning and just out of the way. I don't know. For me, I like to gamify things sometimes, especially when I've got a really busy day. I like to gamify things, Okay, cool. I woke up on time. Great. I prayed, read my Bible. Great. Cool. Let me hop in the shower. Oh, okay, wait. Let me wash my face, get ready for gym, which is actually an interesting conversation. Just gonna go in a bit of a detour here. So I've come across people who wake up in the morning, go shower, then go to the gym, and then shower again, right? I wanted to know your take on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you the type of person to shower, exercise, then shower again, or you wake up, or you just like wash your face, brush your teeth, get into your gym clothes, go sweat it all out once, and then shower like once? I'm the second option. I don't want to lie. I think that's just better use of water, in my opinion. But hey, I'm not the president, just to deal with a podcast and a sports company. So yeah. But anyways, once I gamify the process, it becomes fun for me, and I think that's just the sports side of me. I'm quite competitive, so I like to make things fun, add a little spice, a little salt there, and just always try to do better, even if it's 1% every day, or 0.1%, or 0.01% every day. Our whole philosophy here at the Progressive Athlete and the podcast as well is progression over everything, So now, before we get into the quote of the week, right? When you go on this journey, right, of being a better planner, strategically planning your stuff, it won't just happen like that. It won't. It'll take some time, and you need to understand that, because if you don't, it's gonna hurt you, right? And it's gonna discourage you, because you're like, geez, man, I'm doing what Mietani told me to do. I'm doing what Dumi told me to do. I'm doing what these guys are telling us to do, but it's just not hitting, right? And it's not hitting because you're not giving it time, right? They say it takes 21 days to form a habit, and 90 days for it to be, like a lifestyle type of thing. I don't know. You let me know in the comments. But I think now's a good time to get into the quote of the week. Cool. So the quote of the week today is brought to you by Randy, and it goes like this: effective strategic planning is not about predicting the future, but about preparing for it. Prioritize with purpose, align actions with goals, and success will follow naturally. Maybe I should have just read the quote of the week and called it a day. Because that's it. That's it. And I think the most important thing is align actions with goals. You can write your goals down, and if you go back, I think one of the first few episodes for the year, if you go back, I think it was last year, I didn't do too great with my goals. Yeah. And the reason why that happened was because I didn't do too great with the actions, right? So yes, you set your SMART goals, specific, measurable, um, attainable, realistic, and what's the T, man? Or within the time frame, yes. But the action steps, right? So let's say you want to wake up at 6:30 every day. What time are you going to bed? That's another question you need to be able to understand, and answer and have an answer for that question, because you can't expect to be going to bed every night at like 1 a.m. and then expect to wake up at 6:30. That's gonna mess with your clock, man. Circadian rhythm, if I got it correctly. Excuse me. But that's when now okay, cool. You want to wake up 6:30? You want to get 7 hours, 7:30, 7.5 hours, 8 hours. Try sleep 9 p.m., 10:30 latest, and then you'll see that, oh, okay, cool. It's actually not that hard waking up that early because your body's had enough time to rest. All right. So you need to give yourself enough time. This one just happened like this. So you're going to watch this episode or listen to this episode, right? And then it's going to probably take you a good 21 days just trying at it every time, right? And then from there, that's when you're now able to what's this? To get it done. If there's one thing I've learned in my 23 years of life, yes, I'm 23. Don't let the voice fool you, man. Life is about getting the job done. If you can't get the job done, you can only go so far, right? So like this water here, you got the job done. I'm probably gonna pour another cup or a whole bottle, because it serves its purpose. It's on that hydration level, But anyways, that's it. That's it from me. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. If you made it in this far, be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Maybe listen to this with your partner or play it for your dog. Maybe your dog might just listen. Or maybe you and your partner might just stop fighting. Who knows? There's only one way to find out, right? And yeah, we'll see you guys. Well, yeah, I guess we. Anyways, check you guys in the next episode.